One of the world's greatest ever NBA players, Kobe Bryant was sadly taken from the world in 2020. Although he passed in a helicopter crash, his legend and influence lives on strongly. Bryant is widely considered by fans, fellow professionals and experts to be one of the best all-round basketball players to have ever graced the game. Over a 20-year career, he had a 25 points per game average and won the NBA championship 5 times, during which he amassed $680 million in career earnings alone, not including his many endorsements. At an estimated net worth of $500 million at the start of 2020, Bryant was one of the wealthiest sports stars on the planet. And now we're going to look at the biggest purchases he spent this money on before revealing the number one most expensive purchase of Kobe Bryant. Remember to like this video and subscribe to us for many more like it. But for now, let's look at 7 billionaire purchases made by Kobe Bryant. Over the years, Kobe was a fan of collecting cars. We won't go through his whole garage, but we will look at the most expensive wheels that the NBA star owned. First off, the Bentley Azure Mulliner. This car is a perfect combination of style and power. It's an eye-catching convertible with a sleek design, but under the hood a V8 turbocharged engine will have made sure that Bryant was as fast on the road as he was on the court. At a price of around $240,000, this was an expensive addition to Kobe's collection, but there were others that surpassed this, starting with his Lamborghini. Recently there have been tribute Lamborghinis made, coloured with the LA Lakers signature purple and yellow, but Bryant owned his own Lambo, and his was jet black, the Aventador. This was to replace the Murcielago that he previously owned. The Aventador would have cost him around $400,000, but for that, in return, he got a 690 brake horsepower engine, Formula 1 inspired suspension and handling, and 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds. Not only this, but the sleek black aerodynamic exterior to go with Bryant's Black Mamba nickname was as beautiful as well as it was efficient. All this is very impressive, but what use is a Lamborghini if you don't have at least one other iconic Italian supercar brand alongside it? We're talking of course about Ferrari. But Bryant had more than one of these in his garage. He had at least 2, and the one we're looking at is the 458 Italia. Owning a Ferrari was a dream of a young Kobe Bryant, so it's no wonder that when he had the assets to do so, he lived out that fantasy. The 458 has all the hallmarks of a car that can live on a bedroom wall of a young future sports star. A gleaming red chassis twinned with impressive performance. This model is no different, with 562 horsepower from a V8 engine topping out at 211 miles an hour. So although his Lambo would have packed more of a punch, you just can't compete with a childhood dream. This would explain why Bryant was often pictured with the supercar around Los Angeles. Moving away from Kobe's garage now as we continue the list of his most expensive purchases before revealing the most expensive buy that Bryant ever made. No list of billionaire purchases is complete without a mansion, and this basketball legend does not disappoint. Built in 1997, Bryant bought a Newport County property for around $2 million. This proved to be a wise investment as the complex sold for $6 million a few years ago, which at the time set a record for houses in the area. The mansion has all the usual features you'd expect from a sports star: home cinema, pool, 850 square foot gym, but maybe not the wood-panelled office with built-in shark tank. On top of being functional, the home is also decadently beautiful, boasting walnut floors, limestone, stone pillars, and detailed moulding throughout. We'll look at Bryant's properties later, but now we need to go back to his transport. It's well known that Bryant's passing was due to a helicopter accident, and he was often seen travelling to and from games using a helicopter. However, the incident didn't feature the chopper that the NBA legend owned. This was an Airbus A6355, and he used it for various things, but mainly to avoid the notorious LA traffic getting around the city. With an impressive spec, this asset would have shaved hours off his overall journey time, with a maximum speed of 172 miles per hour and a maximum range of 482 miles. The AS355 has a maximum surface ceiling of over 20,000 feet and can climb at a range of 10 meters per second, with both dual hydraulics and increased maximum weight of over 5,000 pounds. Perfect for getting around one of the busiest cities in the world, even the cost of the chopper at $3.6 million is a little steep for the average commute. That being said, Bryant is responsible for even higher purchases than that, starting with one for his wife. Mr. and Mrs. Bryant didn't have a marriage without issue. In 2011, they filed for divorce, but in 2013 announced plans to call this off and continue with the marriage. With love winning out in the end, there was also a very expensive symbol of that love that Kobe presented to his wife, Vanessa, in 2003. This was a rare 8-carat purple diamond ring worth $4 million. With the ring worth more than an Airbus helicopter on her finger, this became the symbol of the couple's solidarity through difficult times. 2003 was the year that Bryant was accused of sexual assault, charges which he overturned successfully, but which exposed an incident of infidelity that the married couple needed to overcome in the full glare of the media spotlight. They did this, and as well as getting through a divorce that never happened, showed the strength of their relationship right to the end. Now we come to the most expensive purchase that Kobe Bryant made, and that any billionaire would be proud of. Bryant owned many properties during his life, and all were impressive, but as owner of Kobe Inc., the business took priority, and his offices demonstrated just this. Kobe Inc. was set up in 2013. According to Forbes, the basketball star described the company's mission as to own and grow brands and ideas that challenge and redefine the sports industry while inspiring the world. And to do this, it helps to have a headquarters to match that level of ambition. Bryant found exactly that, a 1-acre site that included a 16,550 square foot office building in his local area of Newport Beach. For an office block that size in an area that sought after, that brings with it a large price tag. Almost $6 million, making it one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive, that Bryant ever got his checkbook out for. Kobe Bryant was one of the most iconic players that ever played in the NBA. Not only that, but he was one of the most recognisable sports people in the world. He was consistently placed highly on worldwide wealthy sports star list, and had a net worth to rival anyone in the sporting world. He had the purchases to match his bank account, and more than his fair share of billionaire buys before his tragic passing in 2020. If you were an international sports star, what would be your first buy? Which one of Bryant's purchases would you want, and why? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video and want to see more like it, give us a click on our subscribe button. Thanks for watching.